All right, you got the Russell Westbrook highlights right there. This guy, he is trending right now. Russell Westbrook to join the Sacramento Kings for his 18th NBA season. Okay, former MVP, this guy. A person familiar with the agreement told the Associated Press on Wednesday. The person spoke anonymously because the team hasn't announced the deal. Westbrook's agent, Jeff Swartz, confirmed the deal to ESPN earlier Wednesday. Swartz did not immediately respond to requests for comment from the AP. The 36-year-old Westbrook is entering his 18th season in the league, all-time leader with 203 triple-doubles and ranks 20th in NBA history with over 26,000 points. 8th in assists, not far away from 10,000 assists. Holds career averages of 21.2 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. There's that 21 again, career averages in points, which keeps hitting. So you get it again in this decode. 9-time All-Star. Began his career with OKC, teamed up with Kevin Durant to help the Thunder become a league power. And, what's interesting is you have shows like Undisputed and First Take, which kind of like follow the world stage as far as divide, right? You see right here, Undisputed, this American sports talk show. This stuff kind of like shame on shows like this. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just the script, right? Where sports become a soap opera, pick sides, division, talk about stuff that doesn't matter. But was it Skip Bayless that would call Westbrook Westbrick? And that's stupid, right? Because he's like a great player. Look, there's a song called Russell Westbrook even by Lowkey 303. It's like, give me a break because he's a great player, right? So shame on shows like that and First Take where it's just like soap opera BS. Two people who oppose each other or a panel of people just adding to the confusion, like politics with red and blue. So shame on, sports is a male soap opera, right? If you watch any like soap opera shows, it's just all drama and storylines and characters getting removed off the world stage. But this stuff is it's all entertainment, but shame on shows like that push the divide. So for real, right? So there wasn't a whole lot with this article, but I noticed some stuff here. You see Westbrook, you see the story here from the Associated Press. So joining the Kings for his 18th season. I'll come back and I'll play these videos probably at the end. Look at Russell's got the 106 like Sacramento has 109. You see that? So that you see if you flip that 6 it's a 9. Okay, you see that in the language 106 Sacramento 109. Now remember D'Angelo just died, Grammy winning R&B singer. So look at this. When I thought of D'Angelo and I thought of Russell Westbrook, I was thinking of the basketball player D'Angelo Russell. And point guard like Westbrook, right? You got two Russells. And I thought it was interesting that they both were members of the Lakers. But now Russell Westbrook is trending. And then you got D'Angelo Russell, energy, right around this time that D'Angelo dies, this R&B singer. And I was thinking there might be something with King James, which he's trending really heavy right now, and his nickname is King James. And you got the Sacramento Kings here. I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if LeBron could end up on the Kings, but I see that no, LeBron James is not going to the Kings and is expected to play the 25-26 season with the Lakers. He picked up his player option to remain with the Lakers. Um, and while trade rumors have connected him to other teams, including Sacramento, a move is highly unlikely. I just thought that was interesting because the stuff is all with the language. So any kind of rumors and stuff like that, it's going to pop up by the code. So I thought that was interesting to bring up there. Now, look, Westbrook's agent, Jeff Schwartz, confirmed this deal that he's going to the Kings Wednesday. Look at his agent's birthday is one day after D'Angelo Russell. I think D'Angelo Russell's on the Mavericks now, if I'm not mistaken. And he's been on other teams as well. But look at that, man. Jeff A. Schwartz, Westbrook's agent, 224 with the birthday, and D'Angelo Russell is 223. Now, you see how this works, right? So let's look up. I just want to kind of like confirm. You see, business professional Jeff Schwartz, CEO and founder of Excel Sports Management, an industry-leading sports agency representing top-tier talent. So I'm led to believe that's the guy. You see him here with, it looks like Paul Pierce, if I'm not mistaken. But so this has to be the dude. And again, you see his birthday right there, 224. Check that out. One day after D'Angelo Russell. That's wild. All right. So look, shout out to Richard West. I saw his comment. I think this was on the Alex Jones breakdown. Look at this. That's wild. They were born on the same day. Talking about D'Angelo and Alex Jones. Uh, the same time, right? What I just noticed with D'Angelo, his birthday is 18 days before Angie Stone's death. Okay. And Angie Stone was linked to D'Angelo the singer, as I think they were like a couple and they may have been on some music together. I mentioned Angie Stone in that D'Angelo breakdown too, but 18 days before Angie Stone's death date, D'Angelo's birthday, the singer. And look, Russell Westbrook, 18th season. You see that right there? So you get that D'Angelo Russell, singer D'Angelo, Angie Stone. And then he mentions she was born on the 18th, right? She even born the same day as Stone Cold Steve Austin. So you got Stone Cold Steve Austin, former pro wrestler, Angie Stone, who's like a singer or whatever, connected to D'Angelo. Isn't that wild? And look, 18th season. And look at that. There it is right there. So shout out to you for bringing that up to me, Richard. Look, December 18. I just did a video not long ago and I think December 18 birthday popped up. I think it was one of the football decodes. I think it was a football decoder. It was one of them where I brought up a bunch of connections with birthdays and death dates. It might have been birthdays. But look at that right there. Now check this out. If you're there, Richard, or if there's any other real people out there. Because Russell Westbrook, look at his upcoming birthday. It's the 316th day of the year. Like Austin 316. Because Stone Cold said so. Shut your mouth. Something like that. Look at that. Austin 316. Westbrook's birthday, the 316th day of the year. The Stone Cold, Angie Stone, D'Angelo Russell, D'Angelo the singer, Russell Westbrook. Look at all of this stuff. This was like the last time I covered Westbrook right here. And look, it looks like he was trending the June 13th or the 13th day of the 6th month. You get the same 316, 613. You see that? Same numbers mixed up. And that was this story right here. Russell Westbrook won't exercise his option for next season with the Nuggets. You see that? So you get the same character, a different story, and you see how this number pops up again. Now it's with Angie Stone, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Isn't that wild? And a person familiar with this agreement, Westbrook going to the Kings, told the Associated Press on Wednesday, October 15th. His birthday lands on a Wednesday in November, too. 28 days before that birthday, and Wednesday was the 288th day of the year, like 28. And Westbrook equals 128 in the language. So his birthday's on the 12th as well. There's that 12 and 21 again. Remember 21 points? I think it said average in his career, I think is what that said. That's solid average. I'm pretty sure that's what we read earlier. Wild, huh? Let's play those videos now if we can. Let's see. Sometimes I think I got to refresh. Sometimes I think I got to refresh these, but let's see if we can get these videos to work here.
So Russell Westbrook is officially a Sacramento King. Now, the real question is he going to be starting coming off the bench? We'll see then, right? They added Dennis Schroeder, which they paid him, and they only signed Russell Westbrook to a 1-year deal. Either way, I think this is going to be one of the funnest teams in the Western Conference, and I think it's going to be comedy. I think this team is going to easily be from 8 to 10. I think they're going to be a playing team, no matter what. Because they do got scoring. I mean, you get it from Zach LaVine, DeRozan, Murray when he's healthy is a very good shooter. Sabonis, Schroeder, Monk. I mean, the list continues, right? Right? Then obviously you're adding a player in Russell Westbrook, which honestly, in my opinion, I thought he had a solid season with Denver. Now he's not playing with Jokic, but he is playing with Sabonis, and I do think that two-man game is going to be great. And I do think Sabonis is going to have a really good season. I do think Russ has a chance to lead the league in assists if he's starting. But I just don't know how this is going to work out. I really don't. The spacing is horrible, especially if you have Russ, DeRozan, and Sabonis starting all together. Like, I don't see how that's going to work. Right. And then the big question is they have too many guards. Are they going to trade Malik Monk? Are they going to trade Devin Carter? How is the rotations going to work? So I'm looking forward to see how preseason goes, training camp goes, and then obviously the regular season, which is around the corner. But I'm just glad that Russell Westbrook is on this team, and maybe they're a playoff team with with the newest edition of Russell Westbrook. Let me know what you guys think.
All right. Got the window. I got to have the window cracked. I think AC time is done right now, and finally in Arizona, so I think we can just have the windows cracked and enjoy the outdoor weather.
Russell Westbrook just joined the Sacramento Kings, and everybody thinks it's a disaster, but the Sacramento Kings are actually playing 4D chess, and it's quite brilliant. Look at this roster. Russell Westbrook's 36 years old. DeMar DeRozan's 36 years old. Zach LaVine is 30 years old. This is a championship team, if we're still in 2015. The Kings just ended the longest playoff drought in NBA history in 2023. They went 16 years without being in the playoffs prior to this, and then everything collapsed. They had to trade De'Aaron Fox and blow up their entire team, and now they're running it back with guys collecting social security checks? Why would they do this? Here's what everyone's missing. Russell Westbrook is on a one-year deal. Zach LaVine has a player option next year, and DeMar DeRozan is a free agent after next season. You know what this means. The Kings aren't trying to compete, they're stockpiling trade assets.
Yes,
the plan
sir.
is to pump up the value of each of these veterans and then flip them at the deadline for picks and start a proper rebuild. And the craziest part is they might even trade Sabonis within a year. His age doesn't fit their timeline at all. So the Sacramento Kings look dumb right now, but in 2 years when they're picking in the top 5 with a war chest of assets, we'll see who's laughing. Follow for more basketball news.
All right, so we're good. Hopefully those played. I know I paused it a little bit there, but yeah, we'll see what happens with Russell Westbrook and this upcoming season. You know, entering his 18th season. Time flies, doesn't it? So that's just a quick little breakdown for you today. Shout out any real people out there. Shout out to you, Russell Westbrook, joining the Kings for his 18th NBA season. And I'll be back before you know it with another story to look at. Until then.